Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai. I forgot to put Kai at the end of the other two matches, the first match and the testing. Whoops. Maybe I'll put it here. But yeah, initial thoughts here. This first match is with me and Moggy. It was after Stefan left after that first match, and it was a pretty good match. Decided to keep it. And the second match is going to be with a couple of friends, just doing some randoms in custom matches. And I did pretty good there too. And yeah, the full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai is a really solid suit. I'm talking like really, it's just superb. I would say it's easily, like right now, if I could just throw out something, it'd be the second best support. Like just fucking straight out there. Second best support, easily, hands down. And there's some moments where I would even consider like, okay, maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's on par with the C1 or maybe even better. That's how you know this thing has some really good shit about it. It's fucking effective. That's what all I can say. It's simple yet effective. So of course we're gonna start off with some stats here. We got almost 2,000 HP, 19,500 HP. There we go. I don't know why they did the 500. I guess they found that balanced. They could have just done like 2,000 or 19,000. 2,000? 20,000 or 19,000. It has 33 ballistic and beam resistance. Oh, by the way, level 1, it's a 650 suit. 28 melee resistance, 30 range, strength, and 20 melee strength. And it has 115 speed, but you can put some parts on that make it 120, and that's about like average compared to like the average of suits in this game. But at 650, it's slow, but just keep that in mind. It's still quick, and everything else seems to be about just normal here. 60 thruster gauge, a little bit of rotation. Yeah, so as you see, it's got some pretty high resistances and some pretty high strengths too. You can easily get this its strength, its resistance to ballistic and beams to 50, or at least close to it. That's what I have one of my loadouts as. Straight up very tanky. I left the melee resistance alone though. 28 melee resistance is fine. That's pretty good, especially against generals at this cost that are melee oriented. You can survive a little bit longer against them. Against raids, it's against raids. They'll probably kill you one hit. You can survive a decent raid attack. Just not for long though. If you're already pretty much dead, don't expect to live that long. By pretty much dead, I mean like you have half health. Yeah. So you can make this thing very, very tanky, and you can survive a lot of engagements. It really good. And then it has some skills to help out with that too. First, we'll get into the weapons, or at least I should say second. Second, we'll get the weapons. It has the Mega Buster, or at least specifically, it has its own Mega Buster, the full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai, and it does 2,550 damage base, 70% heat rate. Got some range to it, almost like a sniper rifle, 450 range, and it does charge. So if you want to get some, it does pretty good uncharged damage. So like you can just pop off with that and then stun with some of your other non-instant stun weapons. Get a quick stun, or you can charge it up, get some a lot of range in, get some hits in. It does pretty chunky damage, even to get stuff like a Cubile. Although sometimes you might get like 1,000, almost 2,000 damage. That's fine. Look at that, over 2,000 damage on a raid type. That's awesome. Although that might be a 600 Humbrabi, who knows. I know later in this match I get like some support fire kills, and one of them was a 600. Then you have the beam saber is your little melee, your triangle button. That does 2,520 damage which that's pretty chunky. The downswing damage is pretty good. Now, if I look back up, it has 20 melee resistance, so really you can buff that up a little bit too and go crazy on somebody. You have to be careful though; it doesn't have balancers. We'll get into that later. For secondary weapons, we got the missile pod you see there. I believe, as is explained in the description, they're called explosive bolts. Maybe I read that wrong, but pretty fast. It has 10 shots, I want to say. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to the total amount of missiles, but it does stun in 5 hits. Pretty good for laying down some covering fire. If you want to add some more stun potential onto a weapon that can't stun by itself, like instant stun, pretty good for that. Supporting teammates a little bit. It has a mega particle cannon in its chest, and this one it shoots 3 times. It's got like a 50% heat rate, and you can boost while shooting it. And I believe all 3 stuns or all 3 hits have to hit consecutively, and you'll get a stun out of it. I believe, from what I heard, it can stop maneuver armor, but I haven't really been fighting a lot of maneuver armor suits to really try that out. Well, I mean, I have, but that's probably why they gave a lot of generals maneuver armor, but at this cost. But they haven't really been. I haven't been catching them boosting, you know. But you can boost while using that mega particle cannon. It's really awkward to hit for me sometimes, so I don't really go for it. Again, if I want to get a stun without using an instant stun, I'll go for that and mix it up with something else. Then it has the beam cannons, which I guess they're like beam shoulder cannons. Those ones you have to sit still to fire. Oh, same with the missiles too. I forgot to mention that. Missiles you have to sit still. The shoulder cannons you can stand still and fire. They have some pretty good range on them too. I want to say 400. Probably it's 300. I don't know. It's pretty far, and you can use that for a stun lock. It is a instant stun. You don't have to charge it or anything. That was dumb of me. Just you know, pop somebody with your beam rifle, stun, and then get another stun lock off with your shoulder cannons. Does pretty good damage too. I don't think I mentioned it. It was like 1400 damage. I think that's per cannon because it's 2 cannons. So I think per cannon it's 1400, which is pretty good damage. Oh yeah, then we get to the skills, which has your usual support, scope, radar, data link, all that good shit. It does have AMBAC, and force injectors, which, yeah, force injectors on a support type is pretty good. Even though this thing has a little bit below average speed compared to the rest of the 650 suits, force injectors is still really useful, especially when you're going to use it in space. I haven't played this in space yet, but I imagine this thing is going to be fucking killer in space. Also, look at that fucking score. 20,000 to 6,000. It has, some shoulder buffers. It has the chest eye field, which, that's what the XS has. And I think because of how this suit's frame is, it's a little bit easier to block shots with it. I've definitely had a few more times where I block shots with my eye field than when I am with the XS, because the XS is a countrywide suit, so it's easy to hit in other places. And oh hey, mission complete. Let's see what we got going on right here real fast. Right across the board. God damn. That's pretty good. I'm gonna praise Moggy. Our team did really good too. It's not just me. Obviously by our little things there. And hey, first place 7-1. Yeah, that's a pretty good first match. And we are going to our second match with some friends in City Ruins. And I love the painting I'm put on this thing. Oh, I love it. But yeah, got some shoulder buffers, the eye field and all that. It also has anti-blast stabilizer. That means you don't get affected by MS explosions, mobile suit explosions. So it kind of encourages you to play a little bit closer to enemies. Seemingly, it doesn't have balancers, so you have to be careful with that. If you want to try and melee somebody, I wouldn't say this thing needs balancers. It seems it's pretty strong without them, and I think if they did give it balancers, it'd be a little bit too strong. Overall, the weapons and abilities on this suit is superb. You do a lot of damage. I want to say it's almost easy bake damage. You can stack up a lot of damage. it's pretty fucking scary to fight. If it has like some teammates with him, even like alone, if it can just stun lock you, it can just add on a bunch of damage to you. There's some times where I just completely body suits like an XS or an O, even an O, and some other suits. I think it's pretty good at keeping raids off you too, just because of the way it can stun with its not instant weapons, like its missiles, its mega particle cannon, all that good shit. This man got stunned down to the ground. There you go, finish him off. Yeah, so it just feels nice to play. It's got great damage, great skills. It's a really good support, and sometimes I feel like I'm just doing way better with it than I would be with a C1. Now the C1's not no slouch, it is definitely the number one support in some ways, and I say some ways. Sometimes if you want to get that big damage, you have to transform, and as much as people want to say that it's easy to do, it's really not. You have to transform in front of people. You can shoot from behind, from far away, but there's very little opportunities for that. This suit, it doesn't require much opportunity. It requires just the enemy to simply be in front of you, and you will fuck them up with damage. This suit works extremely well with it will help push with a team for sure. And because of how much resistance you can put on this suit, and even its modification, it almost does a Cubulate thing where it gives it more ballistic resistance. So you can have like over 40 ballistic resistance, over close to 50 beam resistance, and then you can probably work on your melee, and you'll be just Gucci. You'll be fine. You'll be a literal tank. And I know I've said a few times before that I don't like supports that are walking tanks, but this suit, it doesn't feel like a walking tank. It almost feels like a general in some areas. It really just dishes out the damage. And again, it's really effective. And I cannot stress this enough. It is really effective with a aggressive pushing team. It will not let up on the enemy if they let you just let up on them. Yeah, you can just build up so much damage. And there's Gendry. Unfortunately, Gendry's going to get hit by some... never mind, I'm just going to get stunned. Nice. There's not much else. Like, again, this is a very simple suit, but it does simple so well. Some weaknesses. I was talking about how the pauses are. It's got good damage, all that good shit. It does have some weaknesses. First of all, it's kind of a wide target, a big target, if you will. Definitely with those shoulders, that back it has. It's a chunky boy. It is a full armor, so it should be pretty easy to stun. It has no defenses. I mean, skill-wise, weapon-wise, it's pretty fine. But skill-wise, I mean, God fucking, what am I trying to say right now? Skill-wise, it has no defenses. It has no maneuver armor, despite being a full armor. So no maneuver armor, no dodge roll, obviously, because they don't give supports that. I just accidentally touched Gendry, killed him. Poor Gendry. No way to stop from getting stun locked. So you can easily just stun lock it, as you can with most supports, and just go to town on it. Damn, 4,000 damage. There's something else I wanted to add to that. But yeah, you can definitely just put on a bazooka, shoot near its feet. Yeah, if you it has the chest eye field. If you have a suit that uses a bazooka, like I guess a Dryson, you don't have to worry about its chest eye field. You can just stun it straight up and just go up to it and hit it, whack it a few times. Keep it down, Pretty easy. If you want to focus on it, you'll definitely just straight up murder it. That pretty much goes for every suit. But this one doesn't have, a dodge roll or maneuver armor, so you can easily just gang up on it. Not too hard at all. And I did mention that compared to the other suits in this, at this cost, 650, it is kind of slow. Even though it is like average speed, I can get it to 120, 115. It's average speed, but it is slower compared to the other suits, so it's not going to be able to outrun too much if you have an O chasing you, or even something like, I guess, a Humbrabi, Cubulate. they'll keep it just keep it on its toes, you know. Um, you just have to be careful against this thing because it does have ways to stun you and fight you. If you're a general, even a support raid type. Actually, this will make the Bawu pretty viable. 650. Just have the Bawu shoot it a couple of times. No, you know, downswing it, then waste away at it with your missile spam, your missile barrage. Maybe you'd make some other suits, like ballistic suits, maybe more viable. Definitely some interesting implications with this suit. Oh man, I keep having to say poor Gendry. Just everyone is hitting him. Looks like we're gonna focus on here right now. But yeah, the full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai. It's a pretty damn good suit so far, at least what I've played. I think for the most of the matches I've played, which at this point it'd probably be like 20 something. I think most of those I've gotten second place or higher, which is insane. This thing barfs out damage. It's so easy to get kills with this thing. I think only a couple times is because my team again wasn't pushing. If you're trying to play Lone Ranger with the suit, it's not going to work too much in your favor. It can do a 1v1. You just have to be really careful. Other than that, it's just almost like a see what you get suit. Again, almost easy bake. A lot of resistances, a lot of damage. I keep saying a lot of damage. I just have to keep mentioning it. It's easy to get it. That's why I keep saying easy bake. But yeah, in some areas I just think it's as good or even slightly better than the C1. I would still pick the C1 for a couple of maps, like maybe desert. But for this wouldn't be a bad suit to choose either. Like it's that good. And we're almost done here. Just trying to fight this other Hyaku Shiki. And there we go. Survived at the end there. Good old I love you. And let's see what we got going on here. Man, I just love the paint scheme I put on that. Hey, top individual assist and damage. Good amount of damage too. Gonna praise Hitman. I believe one other person, Nexus, he's on my team. Bullnoke didn't do too bad either, from what I remember. Praised. I believe I got praised by like 2 other people, but yeah, first place, 6-1. Yeah, this suit is amazing. I just keep gushing over it. I do believe it's a very strong support, and again, it is very, very good at pushing with a team that is very aggressive or pushing. It can help out a lot. Trust me when I say that, it can help out a lot. It is a very helpful suit. Very good suit. That's what I can just sum it up as. It's a very good suit. It does have its weaknesses though. It has no defensive skills, so you can just double team it, or just even if you're a good 1v1 player, you can just stop it in its tracks right then and there. Just be careful if it tries to stun you first. If you're a raid type, you'll have no problem with this suit at all. Even though I said it can fight raid types, it can. It has the ability to stun them, but it can only get so far. But yeah, I think that's going to be it, and it's going to be in the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, type up in the comment section what you feel about the full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Obviously, by the way I've been describing in this match, I think it's really good. Easily second best support, and even in some regards, I think it is better than the C1. I think its damage can be more consistent. Again, the C1 has to transform to get its full combo off, and that can be not optimal in some situations. The full armor Hyaku Shiki Kai, it can just do it. You know, just do it. Just murderize people. And you know, it can be very tanky too. I'm worried about when people start fully modifying it. In fact, we've had a couple of matches now where we can play like more than one support and do really well. So I think it might switch up the meta, but that's might. I've definitely been seeing a lot of supports being played. I think we had a match where we had a whole team of supports and 2 raids, but that was a custom match. I don't really count those as meta-defining, but I've seen in quick match that a lot, you can double up on supports now. Have a C1, have a Hyaku Shiki Kai, then have your generals. Unfortunately, the raids aren't getting as much love. They probably need to focus on that now. Even though the Mark V is an amazing suit, it really is an amazing suit. Time to change up a little bit. I say change up. The supports coming in is changing up everything. But you know what I mean. Like, it has some more variability in our raids. I know some people want some stealth raids at 650. That's not the Pixie. That reminds me of a match I have to post where Pixie tried to sneak up on me while I'm the O, and it didn't work out well for him at all. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the Hyaku Shiki Kai. I'm definitely gonna be playing. Some more of it. Next to the C1, both very good support suits. And if you're a support main, I would highly recommend you try and attempt to get this suit because it is that damn good. Or if you like the C1, go ahead and keep playing C1. C1 is still really good. And yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.